Hello friends, welcome to a new video at Dot Design Academy. Today, we will share a little review of some sketches sent by our Instagram followers. We will start with this great side view sent by CDF Dark Works. At first, the sketch has good proportions, nice surfaces and an amazing concept idea. But when we put more attention to the details, it looks like it's melting on the ground. To avoid this feeling, I positioned better the other side wheels to make it stand better on the ground. Talking about the bed line, it looks very horizontal, so I lifted it up a little bit to have a more sporty feeling. Then, looking at the most outstanding element of the car, I added some volume at the bottom to make it feel stronger, because at the original sketch it looks a little bit thin and fragile. Then, going deeper in the same element, I tried with a different proposal, taking advantage of the front part, showing some kind of air intake connected with the side of the car. And for a final correction, I made the wheels circular, to seat the car better on the ground. But it really depends on the style of the person. Anyways, I recommend to do them in that way. Now, it's time for this amazing luxury car sent by Nitin Kumar. The first thing I saw on this sketch was the proportions. Drawing the right wheelbase changed the whole skate perception, so drawing some reference wheels to get the proper proportions is always a good idea. After that, I moved into the windshield and general greenhouse proportions, making it more harmonic and spacious. Then, I just added some sections and fixed some little details beside the basic corrections. The sketch in general looks and feels great, but remember always to think about the proportions and what kind of vehicle you are drawing, taking into account the main purpose of it. For example, if you're drawing a luxury car, like in this case, think about a spacious and comfortable vehicle with longer wheelbase. Totally different from a sports car proportion. We move into this amazing machine made by Jit Ravijani. At first sight, it looks great, but it's a little bit complicated to understand how the surfaces are working. Sometimes making too many lines in order to explain the surfaces can make the whole sketch a little bit confusing. That's why I tried to simplify it a little bit, taking into account the same DNA of the original sketch. Talking a little bit about the side view, I made the wheelbase a little bit longer, as I did with the front and the back of the car to make it follow the rest of the vehicle. The original sketch has a short front and back, giving a feeling of a compact car, and that's not what we want to communicate in this sketch. Getting into the perspective, I added a little bit of windshield and tried to explain with less lines how the front surfaces were looking on the sketch, but I couldn't fix nothing else because of the amazing original one. Taking account that making some surfaces lines helps to understand how the volumes are working, but adding too much lines can make your sketch a little bit confusing. Now, time for this beautiful Shelby sent by designer Sila. It's a great sketch, but it needed a little adjustment on the general proportions. To practice this kind of views, I recommend drawing orthographic views. In this sketch, I tried to set up the general proportions using a picture of the car as a reference. I made the wheels bigger and wider to get the strong feeling of the vehicle, pulled down a little bit to make it look faster, and tried to make it more muscular to show the roundness of the design. And after all those little adjustments, I added some details and more weight to the main lines of the car. Drawing an existing car sometimes can be hard, but with practice you get closer and closer to the real proportions. As I said before, practice orthographic views. It will help you to improve a lot. Now, it's Ayush Ganjare's turn with this beautiful SUV. The sketch has in general good proportions in the side view and the 3/4 back, but in this case we will put special attention to the 3/4 back. One thing that caught my attention instantly was the distance between the fender and the wheels. When we are sketching an SUV or any kind of more off-road vehicle, we need to communicate the function of it. In this case, we need to show that the vehicle has a bigger suspension travel to get into more complicated zones. Talking a little bit more of the same topic, I modified the back and made it a little bit wider to show a more imposing vehicle. Another important thing is that when we are sketching a 3/4 view, it doesn't matter if it's front or back, we need to be aware that we are seeing more one side of the vehicle than the other. So, we will sketch the elements of our side wider and more detailed than the elements of the other side. And we will draw the center line situated a little bit more to the opposite side of the vehicle. For the rest, I just added some simple details and adjusted basic things. And last but not least, we have a beautiful Alfa Romeo SUV by Car Design Pine. At first sight, the sketch looks really cool and dynamic, but one thing doesn't match, and it's the design DNA with the brand. Alfa Romeo has a more curvy and organic design DNA, and in the sketch we find technical shapes and more straight lines like in an Audi vehicle. This is not wrong at all, but when we design something inspired in a brand, we should put focus on what type of lines and shapes the brand uses. I tried to redesign the basic sketch, putting some order in the perspective and modifying the elements of the original one. It may not be the best interpretation of the initial idea, but it shows a little bit more about how the organic shapes of the brand work. For the rest, the sketch in general and the line weight is amazing. And that was all for today's video. Thanks a lot to all the participants of the review. If you want to have a review of your sketch, send us a DM on our Instagram account. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and leave a comment down below. And if you are looking forward to improve your design skills or learn car design from zero, send us a DM and we will help you out with our one-on-one live programs. Thanks a lot for your time. See you on the next video. Bye bye.